Well, at Sackville Heights Elementary School, there are 63 students who have been receiving courtesy busing. And the way that has been happening is that those students live within 2.4 kilometers of the school. So they're not eligible for transportation, but there's been room on the existing bus routes to provide them with seating. One of the buses has been provided solely to provide courtesy, which is actually not in adherence with our policy. So what Stock has done at the direction of our policy is they need that bus elsewhere, or that run, so to speak, because that bus is already doing runs. They need that bus doing runs elsewhere to meet the needs of those students who are eligible. So we notified through the school, the community, those individuals 2 weeks ago that effective today, there would not be an ability to bus all of the students. So 18 of those students, those who live furthest away from the school, those who live closest to the school, are not able to get courtesy in the morning, but we're still able to accommodate all those students in the afternoon.
So how long has that, so it wasn't supposed to be that way, right? Like you're saying that that's not the policy of the school board, the way it was being done before?
Well, there was an ability to do it in the past because of the way routes were organized. This year, there's a window in which buses need to transport and drop students off between 20 minutes and 5 minutes. So there were students who in the past have been provided courtesy busing that now, under the policy and under the guidelines that we require Stock to follow, they're not able to provide that service.
Okay. So wait, sorry, let me just make sure I got it understood. So there was, the courtesy busing included these kids when it wasn't supposed to before?
No. We have a limit for busing students of 2.4 kilometers for elementary age students. So people who live within that distance of the school can still get a ride on the bus provided there is seating. So in the past here, there are 63 students who have been provided with courtesy. Of that number, 18 of them are actually beyond the capacity of what the existing bus routes can allow. So what was happening was another bus was looping back and picking up the overload of students. And that's not really in accordance with the policy. We were doing that as a courtesy to those parents, so to speak, because they had received busing in the past. And we informed them in September through the school that they are courtesy, that if there are changes in the system, they no longer are going to be able to receive that.
Okay, so yeah, that within that 2.4 kilometer range, the school board doesn't actually have to pick them up.
The requirement actually province-wide is 3.6 kilometers. The
Okay.
board reduces it for primary to grade 6 to 2.4 kilometers. So for students who live within those distances based on their grade levels, the responsibility of getting to school is theirs every day.
Is theirs, but the school board, sorry, I'm still getting confused here. So
If you live within 2.4
Yeah.
kilometers, less than 2.4 kilometers, the responsibility is yours for getting
Okay.
your child to school each day.
and so
Anything over 2.4 for the elementary ages is the responsibility of the school board.
Okay, so this bus service that picks up those 69 kids?
63.
63. Those 63 kids aren't within that 2.4.
They live within 2.4 kilometers of the school.
Even though, so the bus doesn't have to pick them up?
That's right.
Okay, so it's just kind of like hey,
It's a
if there's
courtesy.
space on the bus.
That's
we'll do
exactly
it.
right.
Okay. And yeah, now it's basically been decided that there are 18 fewer seats available in the morning. So the seats are given out based on furthest away from the school distance, I guess.
Essentially.
Okay.
So all the people that want courtesy in that area the number is 63. There is space for 45 in the morning. So the decision is made for those who live closest to the school would be the ones who are not able to get the courtesy.
So what prompted that change? You were saying that there were service, I think, requirements or something like that Stock needs to meet somewhere else?
Well, there's a few things. Stock has to meet the requirements of delivering students in the morning between 20 minutes before this classes start and 5 minutes. So they have that responsibility to do so. They have requirements, the system changes from time to time because we are busing 24,000 students roughly a day. So as system needs changes, routes have to change from time to time. There are times when students who may have once received courtesy no longer receive courtesy because there may be someone who's moved into the area that's eligible for busing. So when it comes to courtesy, we can provide it, provided we don't have to change any routes, that we're not adding additional costs to the system. In this case, what was happening was a bus that is providing services elsewhere was doing a favor, so to speak, and looping around and picking up any additional kids that didn't fit on the bus where the courtesy was being provided. So we're not gonna be able to do that, especially as we get into the winter months and travel times are probably gonna lengthen. It's just not something that we can feasibly continue all along. So for now, we can transport 45 in the morning, and we can transport all 63 in the afternoon just based on how the roads work. But it's just not something that going forward we can provide unless we're putting additional costs on the school system.
Okay. And how long has that looping thing been going on for?
Well, it's been going on all year this year. I think probably in past years there were different routings because they route the system every year and it changes based on where the students are. It's not like a transit system here in Halifax where the routes are the same and exist the same for many, many years. Our routing system is all based on where students live, so they change yearly.
And so
But in this area, there were probably all students who were getting courtesy for many years.
Okay, and that looping issue that started just this
That was
school year?
This school year.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's about it. And so is there anything, I guess, parents can do? There's not really much, right?
Well, what we try to explain to parents, and I know the school did early in the school year, is explain to parents that if there is room on the bus, we're happy to provide you with a courtesy seat, but you have to understand that if those needs or eligible students, for example, or routes have to change, there may be a time where it's not always going to be able to be provided for you. So we want people to be aware.
And sorry, one more time. What is the issue with the looping? Is that it adds too much time to the bus driver's schedule? Is that the issue?
No.
Or
Buses do a number of runs each morning and each afternoon. So if a bus is changing its route and adding time to its route, it's going to probably affect other routes and impact its delivery times for other routes, because it's not like we have a bus for every run and they only do one run in a day. They're doing multiple runs every morning.
okay, so just so I explain this fairly in the story, basically the reason why this looping thing can't continue is because it would impact other routes as
That's
well.
exactly right.